A lot of times these police precincts or these DA office, they actually get like a hard on for like an artist or someone who they feel has evaded them. They're used to working with the judge and working the criminal justice system and the courts, and they have favorable outcomes. So when somebody beats them, they usually try to get their gift.
NBA YoungBoy just found himself wrapped up in a situation that's got fans questioning everything about his freedom and what the future really looks like. Behind the fame, the money, and the charts, YB was moving carelessly in Utah when a tip got dropped, triggering a traffic stop that could have put him right back behind bars. Listen to this, the real breakdown of how Mellow Rackz and the driver kept him from catching another charge is way more complicated than people realize, and we're about to unpack all of it. Yo, what's good fam? Today we're diving straight into a story packed with street loyalty and federal pressure that's been shaking the hip-hop space heavy. Moments like this expose who's truly solid when attention turns into heat. Before we get into the madness, let me keep it real with y'all for a second. Social media has been going crazy, claiming YB got stopped in Utah and somehow walked free, while everyone around him caught charges. But hold up, we're about to break through the rumors, sort fact from fiction, and show exactly what went down on that highway, because this single moment shifted everything for NBA YoungBoy and his inner circle. The multi-platinum artist was traveling along Interstate 15 in Utah when a state trooper pulled him over, citing a traffic violation. But here's what most people keep overlooking. This stop wasn't random at all. Somebody talked. Someone tipped off law enforcement that drugs were inside that vehicle, and the feds have been waiting patiently for any excuse to put YB back in a cell. Don't get it twisted, this wasn't wrong place, wrong time. This runs way deeper than simple bad luck. We're talking about a calculated play designed to catch YB slipping, and if the people riding with him hadn't stood tall, he'd be facing serious federal time right now. But here's where things start heating up fast. The feds are still bitter about that presidential pardon, and they clearly haven't let it go. So check this out. Around 4:30 p.m. Utah time, NBA YoungBoy was riding in a vehicle with 3 people total. He was in the back seat, Mellow Rackz sat in the passenger seat, and a male driver was behind the wheel. They're cruising down Interstate 15, likely thinking everything's smooth when the red and blue lights flash behind them. And in street logic, moving with someone already under federal watch means every move has to be calculated. YB is absolutely on the feds' radar. According to Fox 13 Utah, police received a tip saying that exact vehicle contained illegal drugs. Hold up, that's textbook snitch behavior. No debate about it. Someone, either close to him or watching his movements, gave detailed information. They knew the car, the timing, and what was supposedly inside. The Utah Highway Patrol trooper claimed the stop was for a traffic violation, but we know what really set this off. They already had the tip and were just fishing for probable cause. Now here's where the law plays chess, not checkers. In Utah, marijuana is completely illegal. No medical loopholes, no recreational passes. So once the officer said he smelled weed, that alone unlocked the right to search the entire vehicle. After the search, illegal substances were found and seized. That's straight from the Utah Highway Patrol's official statement. Drugs were inside that car, and the second they were discovered, everyone in that vehicle knew exactly how serious things had become. This is the moment where loyalty gets pressure tested. This is where you see who's built to stand tall and who crumbles. But here's the part people aren't talking about nearly enough. Mellow Rackz and the driver immediately stepped up and claimed ownership of the drugs. They told police straight up, that's ours, not his. They took the hit right there, knowing full well they were risking serious charges in a state already watching NBA YoungBoy closely. According to reports, the Utah County Attorney's Office is reviewing charges for the driver and Mellow Rackz, not for NBA YoungBoy. YB walked away from that stop without cuffs, without charges, because 2 people decided his freedom mattered more than theirs. Now pause, because this is where the real conversation begins. Why would anyone take a hit like that? This is where you've got to understand how power actually works in this industry. NBA YoungBoy is the engine. He's the money, the millions, the checks being cut, the one feeding families and keeping entire circles afloat.
If law enforcement locks him up again, everybody connected to that success feels it immediately. Mellow Rackz, the driver, their families, everyone's situation depends on YB staying free and active. But here's the part people gloss over. Catching a drug charge in Utah is no joke. We're talking real prison time, heavy fines, and records that stick for years. And still, they did the math and made a cold, calculated choice. Better them than him. Because if YB falls, the entire operation grinds to a halt. No shows, no releases, no money moving. They risked their freedom to protect the engine that keeps everybody surviving. And if you're not familiar with how street hierarchy works, let me break it down. When you're connected to someone operating at YB's level, there's an unwritten code. The biggest breadwinner gets protected at all costs. That isn't just loyalty, it's strategy. It's about keeping the flow alive so everyone can eat. But listen close, because this is where the story cuts even deeper. The feds are still hovering over NBA YoungBoy like they never backed off. This traffic stop doesn't feel accidental when you look at the timeline. Back in 2024, YB was facing heavy federal gun charges, real prison time, career-ending time. Then suddenly, everything flipped when he received a presidential pardon. The case was locked in, the documents were finalized, and just like that, it disappeared. You really think federal prosecutors just let that slide? Not a chance. They've been sitting back, waiting for the smallest mistake. DJ Academics even pointed this out, saying Utah especially has YB under a microscope. And don't forget, this is the same state where YB was caught up in a prescription fraud case in 2024. He paid a $25,000 fine and assumed it was finished. Utah didn't move on. When you beat the system once, your name stays flagged. When you beat it twice with a presidential pardon, the spotlight gets brighter. Authorities even admitted they explored whether YB's criminal history could link him to this stop, despite him not claiming the drugs. That alone shows how badly they want him. They're hunting for any crack, any slip, any loophole. And this goes beyond one traffic stop. It's a pattern that has people seriously concerned about YB's future. Real talk, he moves like someone who hasn't learned from close calls. That's risky, not just for him, but for everyone connected to him. His run-ins with drug-related situations aren't new. Prescription fraud, possession situations, repeated exposure. Every time he dodges consequences, instead of tightening up, he repeats the same behavior. That's crash test mentality, doing reckless things while expecting a different outcome. The streets have been whispering for a while that YB keeps drugs around. Personal use or just being near it, it makes no difference. At his status, it's unnecessary danger. You're a multi-millionaire. You just beat the system with a presidential pardon. You've got family, crews, and teams relying on you, and you're still moving hot. That's not authenticity, that's self-destruction. But take a step back, because the bigger picture matters. The feds aren't just after YB over drugs or guns. They want him because he represents something they can't fully control. A young black artist who beat their system multiple times and still commands millions. Every time he walks free, it challenges their authority. So they observe, they wait, and when they can't grab him directly, they pressure the people around him. Making examples out of Mellow Rackz and the driver sends a clear message. Protect him and there's a price. So the real question is simple. Will YB actually learn from this moment, or will he keep testing the line until the system snaps it shut? Because if he catches even a minor charge while still under pardon scrutiny, the response will be brutal. No grace, no political lifelines. Mellow Rackz and the driver bought him time. They gave him another window to move smarter. If he wastes it, their sacrifice means nothing. They'll be fighting cases while he's locked back up. And let's keep it honest about his history. Arrests, gun charges, drug cases, house arrest, ankle monitors. It's been a repeating loop. Some fans label that as being real, but there's a thin line between real and reckless. The culture needs to have this conversation. How many gifted artists have we watched self-destruct because they wouldn't adjust? NBA YoungBoy has the talent, the audience, and the grind to be legendary, but greatness doesn't matter behind bars. And what about the people who stood up for him? Loyalty isn't one-sided. If someone takes a charge for you, the expectation is you take care of them. Legal fees, commissary, family support. The industry is packed with stories where that promise wasn't kept. I'm not saying that's his outcome, but it's a real possibility. At its core, this isn't just about a traffic stop. It's about power, loyalty, consequences, and the price of fame. So what comes next? Does YB finally tighten up or keep pushing until the door slams shut? And what happens to Mellow Rackz and the driver? Do they really face time, or does the case quietly disappear? These are the questions the culture is watching closely.